Hey guys, today I'm gonna react to this video um, about like Elon Musk's cars and how he's able to make them cheaper. Um, it's just about like 23,000, I think. So if that's true, that's pretty crazy. But I guess we'll find out.
Not only is Tesla changing the electric car industry, but now they're even changing car manufacturing. With a simple idea, Elon Musk found a
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I love about like Elon is that like he never just accepts it as the way it is. Because I feel like a lot of these companies they'll kind of have like this like check mark thing, like, oh well, we're gonna do this because every other company does this, and we'll just cut labor and pay less, and that's how we'll increase our profit margins by just being like not innovating, but just by doing typical business practices. But I like how he always likes to challenge it, like the way things have been done forever, and see if there's new ways of doing it.
method to produce car parts for their vehicles in a quick and cheap fashion, and it's going to save them a lot of money. So much so that numerous Tesla Gigapress facilities are popping up all over the world. Today, we're going to look into what a
crazy.
Gigapress is exactly.
Massive.
We'll see how it's used and the money that's involved. On top of that, we're also going to examine several Gigapress factories that the company operates. So, let's get started. In January 2021, Elon Musk responded to a tweet stating, quote, "With our giant casting machines, we are literally trying to make full-size cars in the same way that toy cars are made."
Wow,
end quote.
that's crazy.
He was, of course, referring to the Gigapress. Not to be confused with Tesla's Gigafactory in Nevada that produces lithium-ion battery and electric car parts. Instead, we're talking about a massive machine. This idea had been rattling around in the minds of Musk and Tesla since the press was put together by the Italian tech company Hydra Group. These presses are aluminum die casting machines. Essentially, the presses work by melting metal, then forcing the liquid into a reusable mold. After the casting has cooled, facility robots clean it further and cut off any excess pieces. Tesla began using custom Gigapresses in 2020, all to help production on the Tesla Model Y.
That's awesome.
In 2019, Musk stated that the new press process has meant that instead of 70 parts being created at a time, only one large part is made for the car's underbody. Musk also stated that up to 300 robots have been removed from production due to this method. Installing the Gigapress at facilities isn't easy work. Most of the typical presses can weigh up to 430 tons.
Wow,
that's roughly the
crazy.
same as 3.5 blue whales. If Hydra is
What? That's crazy.
delivering in Europe, it takes them at least 22 flatbed trucks to carry all the weighty parts. Even shipping across to China can take the boat up to 50 days. Up to March 2019, Hydra had 50 million euros, or $58.9 million in orders for the Gigapress alone. Due to the success of the press with the Model Y, reports came out in March 2021 that Tesla had ordered a more powerful Gigapress that's able to exert 8,000 tons of force. The
that's
previous
crazy.
model that they used,
8,000.
the OL6100CS, has up to 6,200 TF of clamping force. It's believed that the new machine is being developed with the Cybertruck in mind. The end game for
Man, that would just be so crazy if we get to that point where we could just make cars, like, on a moment's notice and without, like, having people do it, just other robots do it instead. Man, it's crazy.
Tesla using Gigapresses is to reduce their operational costs, making their vehicles more affordable for the public to purchase. According to Tesla's website at the time of writing,
Like, if they made a car that's, like, in the $15,000 range, I would totally buy it. Like, I mean, because I was, like, thinking, like, I really liked Teslas for the longest time, but I feel like they've always been so expensive. So it'd be cool if you can bring it down.
the Model Y starts from $48,190 with potential savings included. But according to Foundry Management and Technology, who spoke to Tesla, the Gigapress will, quote, reduce build time, operation costs, costs of manufacturing, factory footprint, factory operating costs, tooling costs, and/or quantity of equipment, end quote.
Wow.
It's expected that one day the cost of Tesla's vehicles could fall to $25,000. These machines are capable of producing around 1,000 casings each per day.
Man,
While the exact cost that Tesla spent on their Gigapresses is unknown, we can get a very rough idea. Online, used Hydra models can go for a hefty fee. A used OL 2000R version built during 2000 can be sold for around 132,000 euros, or around $156,000. However, this model is far smaller and doesn't deliver the same camping force as Tesla's OL 6100 CS. One of the first Tesla facilities to receive a GigaPress was the Tesla Fremont factory. Back in 2010, Tesla took ownership of a defunct NUMMI auto manufacturing plant. According to reports, it cost the company $42 million. At the time, the car firm had plans to produce the Model S at the site by 2012. So, to help fund the new project, Toyota gave the company $50 million in exchange for Tesla stock. Tesla also splashed out...
Wow, I love how, like, you get these, like, other car companies trying to compete with Tesla, and then Toyota decides, like, oh, we'll just invest in them instead. Like, if we can't beat them, we might as well join them.
$17 million.
But then the public probably still thinks Toyota and Tesla are competing, even though they invested in them.
On assembly machinery left at the site. In 2011, the company decided to invest in a Schuler SMG hydraulic stamping press that was worth $50 million. However, Musk only spent $6 million due to buying it from a troubled supplier. Quite a nice savings. However, it wasn't all easy. In 2014, Tesla was handed a fine of $89,000 due to an accident at the Fremont factory. In November 2013, 3 workers were burned by molten metal from the low-pressure aluminum casting press failing. In 2020, Fremont would get their first GigaPress.
That's terrible. Hopefully they're okay. Oh man. I can't even imagine how bad that must have been.
A new structure even had to be built to house the press. However, in March 2021, one of the 2 presses reportedly installed in Fremont broke down. As a result, a fire broke out from the molten metal escaping the press. Thankfully, no injuries were sustained. Looking to expand their operation to China, Tesla decided to bid for a lease on a factory in Shanghai. And in October 2018, they won the bidding battle. The firm spent 978 million Chinese yuan, around $140 million at the time, for a 213-acre plot. After snapping up the land, Tesla wanted Giga Shanghai to be running by 2021. Originally, they were looking to initially produce 250,000 cars a year there.
That's crazy.
They hope to double that figure in the future. In 2019, Tesla reportedly took a loan from a group of Chinese banks that amounted to $1.4 billion. Wow. This cash was to help pay for the extended lease, as well as operational costs. The Hong Kong-based LK Technology Holdings.
That's what I was thinking about, like, all of this. Like, these are pretty big numbers, but it's like, man, like... It makes me wonder, like, who's in charge of all of this? Like, is there, like, I'm sure there's a group, but it's just like, man, like, how do you, like, decide where the capital goes? Because there's so many expenses. Like, I mean, it makes sense why there's not that many people trying to start a car company, because it seems like it's just crazy expensive, or, like, unforeseen, like, expenses coming out of nowhere.
Which is the parent company of Hydra Group, reportedly began creating an even bigger die-casting machine in May of 2021. While it's not confirmed that it's for Tesla's Giga Shanghai, this machine is said to be capable of a whopping 9,000 tons of force.
Wow.
Currently, the Shanghai site reportedly has 3 Impress Plus DCC 6000 gigapresses in operation there. Each is capable of 6,000 tons of force. Since Musk's SpaceX firm is already mostly based in Texas, it makes sense that Tesla would create Giga Texas as well. Back in 2020, Tesla announced that Austin would be the new site for their factory. At the time, it was reported that the firm was preparing to invest at least $1 billion into creating the facility. The Austin authorities also provided Tesla with tax breaks amounting to at least $60 million over the next decade. Musk has stated that the site will need to hire 10,000 people through 2022 to remain in peak operation. Despite the site still being under construction with plans to be in full car production by 2022, Giga Texas has reportedly received 2 Giga presses for their site. In 2019, Musk announced that Europe would get its own Gigafactory in Berlin, Germany. According to reports, Tesla would be...
It's just so crazy how, like, Tesla not that many years ago, it was just in the US, now it's, like, everywhere.
He handed up to 300 million euros or $354 million in subsidies from the European Union for choosing this location. This is handy, as early reports stated that building the factory could cost the electric car makers 4 billion euros, around $4.4 billion at the time. The land itself is said to have cost around 41 million euros, or 34.8 million US dollars. Giga Berlin was expected to bring in up to 8,000 employees after expanding. However, there were concerns by conservationists. They were worried about potential damage to the environment during the construction of the facility, especially as the original plans meant destroying a part of the nearby forest. To help put minds at ease, Tesla has stated that they will replant any areas they destroy. The Berlin factory is set to get 8 gigapresses. Before this news, Tesla was anticipating creating 500,000 vehicles per year. With that many gigapresses, they could potentially produce far more electric cars, with some estimates even reaching 1 million vehicles per year. Final fact finish. Since Musk allegedly got the Gigapress idea from a toy car, one of the most expensive Hot Wheels ever made was worth $140,000.
What?
Released in 2008 to celebrate their...
I just love how, like, you get these things that are like, oh, the most expensive, like, thing ever, but then all they did was they just added diamonds or gold or whatever, and then it instantly becomes the most expensive.
their 40th anniversary. The diamond-encrusted custom...
I mean, like, okay, cool. Like, you add diamonds to it. Like, what else did you do? It just looks like a normal toy car. Like, if I just bought a toy car and added diamonds to it, of course, it's going to be expensive.
Custom car was made by Jason of Beverly Hills, with the proceeds from the auction going to charity. 2,700 diamonds and 18-karat white gold were used in the design. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, like, I didn't know those kind of machines existed. I thought it was all pretty much done, like, on just like a bunch of workers on a conveyor belt and like working on putting these pieces together. But it's cool that the machine can do it like that, so then it can make it cheaper for everybody. Because I feel like a lot of people want to do electric, because it's better for the planet, but unfortunately, it's so expensive. Majority of the public can't just afford to cough up like $50,000 plus for an electric car, and so I feel like a lot of people use gas cars out of, like, you know, just because they have to. But if there's like, if you could pull it to 25,000, that would be crazy, because there'd be so many more people using it, especially with gas prices right now are just going through the roof. But it's a pretty interesting video, and yeah, it's just crazy how how heavy those things are. It's like 3 whales. I'm like, what? But if you enjoyed this video, leave me a like and subscribe, and thank you very much.